Today's lesson is spears and thumbs. The next member of the class of 2014 is Colonel Retired Wayne H. Morris. Several of these remarks about being old. The last time I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina was a few years ago, 1967 to be exact. Wet behind the ears, second lieutenant, headed for the jungle school in Vietnam. And decided to take a walk one cool September evening. And I wandered into a quadrangle, which turned out to be a Women's Army Corps barracks area. I ran into a very difficult young captain, older than me. She took great exception to this guy walking through the barracks. And I haven't been back to Fort Jackson since. I tell you what, and I probably deserved it, but I didn't know what I was doing. So, anyway. Listen, this visit to Fort Jackson is certainly a high point for my wife and I in this great adventure we've had for 56 years. We've been married 52. For most of that time, we've been in one uniform or the other. And I have to tell you that our faith and our family and our friends in the United States Army has made that time spectacular. And we have just had a hoot. We've landed back in East Tennessee, but it's been a great bunch of years. Now, out of that, I have to tell you, I cannot imagine having the assignments, the excitement, the adventures that we had if I had not branch transferred into this great Adjutant General Corps branch and this regiment. The people I got to work with, the things I got to work on, the accomplishments that we all did, it was just fantastic. Working with people like Pat Hickerson, Nelson Marsh, Tom Netling, John Jackson, Barry Price, Pat Hickerson. I've written these all down, and I'm not going to get to them. Brent Johnson was my management officer. I had the best lieutenant I think I ever ran into was First Lieutenant Barry Price. Think about that. Why wouldn't I look good? I did great, I got to tell you. And all of the other people, Jack Wheeler, has just been fantastic. I have to tell you, some of the folks I work for, there's a fellow here by the name of Nelson Marsh that was my first AG supervisor. And he and a rascal named Tom Netling romped and stomped through the 3rd Division. We had a good time. Tom and I thought we were colonels when we were captains. We didn't quite understand the good part. Nelson Marsh stood up for us and kept us out of trouble as best he could, to his own detriment, I have to tell you. But Marsh is a visionary AG, as well as Tom. They created something called the PSD Forward. And it was not recognized by use or Department of the Army, but they actually moved the personnel system out into the battalions. Think about that. Later, someone else came up with the battalion type system. But they did it first. And those are the kind of people that I worked for and worked with. Tom Netling and John Jackson worked hard for this Corps, both on the OPMS study group and in the assignments branch, to make sure that we had a seat at the table with the gunfighters, both at mid-level schooling and senior service college, and that we could command our own companies and our own battalions and our own brigades. I miss those two. We lost them this past year or so, but they're great soldiers and great Adjutant General Corps officers. Linda is here from Tucson, Arizona, Linda Netling, and son Tom Jr. is here. The Marshes, as a matter of fact, have a great young man, Blaine Marsh. He's a lieutenant colonel. He designs, builds, and oversees construction of military hospitals to take care of our soldiers. And he's just been posted from Korea to Washington, where he will develop policy in the Surgeon General's office. And he also happens to be our godson. So, proud of him. Bob Ortiz told me that I was getting another award today. I don't know when it's going to be presented, but it's called a Bozo Award. Apparently, I invited too many people. I don't quite understand the problem. They came from the Czech Republic for this ceremony, Albania, Arizona, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, New York. I'm outdoing you, sir. And the center of the universe, East Tennessee.
Go Vols! Woo!
Chris Christopherson coined the phrase, the invisible tribe. And you two talked about it, and I'm going to talk about it too. The invisible tribe, our military dependents, have put up with so much as we travel through this military life. And my daughter Stacy is here with her husband Tom Stroud and beautiful my granddaughters Jana and Savannah. They're in Starkville, Mississippi, working on degrees in how to speak with a drawl. And also Dan's going to be a veterinarian, and Savannah's going to be a world famous chemist someday. If you watch Mississippi State, you'll see her out on the field. Anyway, Stacy has been supporting our military effort with the company she's worked for about 10 years with the Strategic Defense Initiative and Star Wars program in Huntsville. My son Wayne Jr., Wayne 2, is here with his bride Nicole. Wayne's a Valor decorated lieutenant from the 1st Gulf War, Bradley platoon leader. And their two older ones, Sammy Kay, Samantha, I beg your pardon, is Miss Morris because she's got a master's degree in elementary education and is going to be the teacher of the year, I'm sure, soon. And Wayne the third, who is already challenging Einstein's theories. He's going to be a physicist, I think, and we're proud of those two. Nicole and Wayne also have two rugrats, 4-year-old William Henry, who's named after Nicole's great-grandfather, who was a Major General, Assistant Division Commander at the Battle of the Bulge, and a World War II hero, and her grandfather, who last week, or 10 days ago, celebrated with his 70th class reunion at West Point. Brigadier General Chief, and distinguished military folks. My family is a military family, I have to tell you. We've got our own West Pointer, Sam, and Sam is here today with Margaret, my airborne ranger. And Sam and Margaret has given us 3 beautiful children, Naomi, Lucas, and Katerina, and they're going through final exams right now. And Naomi is taking care of our great-granddaughter, Selena. Selena and Riley girl, Wayne and Nicole's small one, are destined to take over the world. That's our great family. My sister is here, Sandy, with her husband David Noy, and sister-in-law Mary Virginia, and Doug Murdoch. So we've got a great family, and I can't tell you, this group of people here, nieces and nephews, they're surgeons and orthodontists and educators, just a great group of folks. Cousins up there. So I appreciate everybody coming in here. This group also represents a lot of combat power, combat experience for the United States Army. George Stuber is here somewhere, Deputy Garrison Commander of Fort Benning. Raise your hand, George. There you go. George Stuber, a great warrior. Dennis Carton, a Marine. Brought a Marine here. The last guy up, Quezon. He's the best scoutmaster in East Tennessee now. He and Judy are here. And we're just really proud of all of the folks that have supported us for so long. I want to do one more thing, and I'm going to get off stage. They took up a lot of time. In 1967, I was in a pretty bad spot. Pinned down actually behind an anthill with a fellow who'd been shot about 5 times and a young PFC. And the anthill was getting kind of small because there was a machine gun on the other side, making it smaller. And out of the smoke and the roar of battle and all the steel going through the air comes John Wayne from Syracuse, New York. Big, tall, good-looking kid. And he's a machine gunner, and his ammo bearer from Puerto Rico, an aspiring baseball player. He was in the minors, I think. He's a pacifist also, believe it or not. These two guys come running out, and they set up their machine gun, take out the bad guy on the other side, and we were able to get the wounded soldier out. In the process of doing that, they were both wounded extremely severely. Two hardest guys to kill I've ever known in my life. The reason I'm here, the reason I was able to raise my children, the reason I was able to have all these great adventures, is because Mr. Alan Oakes from Syracuse, New York, and his bride, Jean. Alan's a Silver Star winner, and I would ask you to recognize my friend. The last few weeks, months actually, at you and your staff, all the work you've done for us. I appreciate it. I'm proud to be part of this organization, and this is a great honor. Defend the service.